Hi, I'm Laurie Dobson. Today is January 5th, Tuesday, 2021. I have just finished seeing an important summit video Zoom call that included Robert F. Kennedy, Judy Mitcovits, S.Stone, and Rocco Galante, and David Martin, and another facilitator talking about Fauci. And Dr. Fauci's, the focus was on him and how he has been able to engineer our country and its policies for the last 25 years to the point where we are all ready to do this vaccine, to take this vaccine basically on his, basically because he's found a way to get our trust and to get the complicity and the collaboration of others who are allowing him to direct our policy. And I think it's important to understand that a lot of this boils down to that one man. And so this summit was a way to look at this man, to look at his ways of working, and to understand why we are in this place right now where we are not sure that this will work. It's not been proven to work. We're told that it's not going to stop these measures that are depriving us of our liberty and our rights. And it really doesn't do much in terms of effectiveness. 80% of those who were in the trial had adverse reactions. And we don't know if or for how long it's going to be effective. But what we do also not know, and is more to the point, is what it in fact does to the body. And so these people were talking about that, and I've listened to some others. I've been kind of on a long study period trying to understand the depths of the science and the virus, understanding of viruses and vaccines as much as I can, and what it means to take it, what will the effects be. But in reality, what also is going on here can't be denied, and that is that the parallel track of our taking this injection with the belief that once we have the virus, we'll be fine. That is the commonly repeated belief that we'll be okay once we get the virus vaccine, and until then we have to do this for the good of all of us. We have to go along with this takedown of our rights. So, not one to accept things on the face of them. I've been trained as a journalist to be skeptical. Robert F. Kennedy said that his father, Robert F. Kennedy Sr., said to him that it's the duty to be a skeptic, that you must be skeptical of what those in power tell you. And as a journalist, I know that to be true. That's part of the job. But there's been a complete lack of skepticism in the mainstream news. It's all lockstep. Everyone's in one mind about it, and anyone else that disagrees has been shown to be a negative, is portrayed negatively. So in our country where, it seems that it should be a right to understand both sides of a subject so that we all can understand and choose, an informed public. Instead, we're just being told that we're, that basket of deplorables. And I think those words were done to try to show people that there is to be no tolerance for anyone who objects. And I've been not on the side of that political. I haven't embraced either political figure on either side of the divide that they used to and still do try to make us believe that we're one or the other. And I think that most people aren't necessarily embracing when they want to question or not accept something, it doesn't mean that they just fall into a political camp. What it means is that they're not satisfied. They're skeptical of the reasons that are given to them, and they want to understand it better. To me, that's a mark of someone willing to buck the status quo and the prevailing popular opinions, to understand for themselves, so that there can be a true understanding and an acceptance. When I accept something, I want it to be based on reasons that I identify with, people that have said things to me that I understand and can follow, and it's got to be on a deep level. I've heard a lot of people I've had to, ultimately abandon following them because I think that they don't go far enough. They let themselves stop at certain topics, and because it's just, their excuses are many. It's not in their wheelhouse, and I see that a lot with the issue around wearing masks and the vaccine. The idea, the rollout of this mandate to take a vaccine, to lock down our country, to take our rights away, and well, I'll just say it. I can't mince it anymore. I can't try to straddle the fence on this one. And as much as I do appreciate my family and love my family, and I understand their concerns that are, many very, very much a valid concern. When you're an older person, you don't want to expose yourself, even if it's just to the flu, even if this is nothing more than a variety of a flu, or if it is something else, something more nefarious. And there are those that are telling us that that this is a delivery device through a fat coated delivery device to get an RNA in that will change our system, that will introduce things that will be pathogens inside us, and that it does not have the two things that qualify as a vaccine. First, you do have an adjuvant to irritate the system sufficiently to notice that it has an invader so that it will produce something. But then you also have to have a method to transmit that helpfully through a means to help the body, not just to recover, but to use this to fight this infection in the future, to end the pathogen effect. And there's nothing in this that qualifies it as a vaccine. I'm not saying it accurately. I really truly, I haven't had a chance to study the focus on Fauci, but it is there, and there'll be millions and millions of people that are going to be watching that. So I urge you to get to see it as much as you can, as soon as you can, and to try to understand it. I think we could study it. There's a lot there to know, and the people that put it on, I think, were very brave. So that's my suggestion today. Focus on Fauci. I'll have a link to it down below. And what it's really gotten into me is that no matter what positive hopes, ideas earnestly believed by my friends and family that they will be saved if they act like good citizens and do what they're told and follow the orders, that it is exactly the opposite thing that must be happening now, or we will be part of a program that we will wake up from later and say, oh my God, why didn't people tell us? Why didn't we understand the scope of this when we had a chance to? And that time is now. I'm understanding the real nature of what's being pushed on us now for the first time, and it's pretty frightening. Nobody wants to think their government is out to get them in such a way as this, but how else can we understand it? The word eugenics, the effort here to deprive people of life, of liberty, of everything that they know and hold dear. Those are not things that are done by a benevolent government or by benevolent people. They're monsters. They stand to make ungodly amounts of money and to consolidate power. And the whole thing appears to be a game or a power play or whatever it is. Maybe it comforts people to know that they're somehow they have a hand in creating a world of the future, and that they think that this is just a way to take part in that, rather than just be what they think must be the only alternative, which is, beasts of burden that lay down their lives for people. Because I think that's all that they really understand, that it's either or, that you must treat people like they're horrible people, MAGA types, they think that's just the worst thing in the world. And I've grown to understand that there are much worse things in the world than thinking that Donald Trump had some things that he did that were right. I believe that even though I've had some deep sympathies, and I've run for office as a Democrat, in support of elite proposals, I believe that any time now that people are voting for a status quo type solutions, in other words, nothing will fundamentally change, that's protectionism around money, around your personal money. And I get it. I get people don't want to lose their money. They want to hold on to it, and they want policies that will help them not lose their money. But to put people under such an oppression, and to be part of the force that is out there trying to kill off the world, Malthusian, it's also called. These programs have been around. They are now called different things. The Great Reset, when you hear that, or Building Back Better, or all these sort of fancy little words, euphemistic words, not truthful words, that you must look at the truth behind what's being said. And what is being said right now? Are we changing for the better? Are we allowing these forces to continue to do this deprivation of our lives and our liberty? Businesses never to return, lives never to come back. And just making us believe that that's because certain members of our society have chosen to be in disregard and want their freedom. Are we going to have to hate the freedom lovers in our country so we can be safe enough? Maybe someday. That is a pie in the sky, and it's not a true offer to us. It's a cynical there are other words. It's called sophistry in the Greeks, and you can look it up. It means that there's a whole school of thought saying ridiculous things and positing them as true, just to see if they can't succeed in convincing people with minds that aren't, as agile, or people that don't understand the nature of this kind of level of playing with people's minds. It's really not an admirable kind of a person to toy, mind fuckery types of games. But I do think it's a preoccupation of some who enjoy it. So it's a very ignoble thing, very ignoble. And you'll see all the old guard liberal posts just that you used to be able to count on to tell truths are all falling behind these status quo, official story kinds of explanations for everything, and seem to be content there. Safety in numbers, I guess. But I think in the upcoming days and months and years, we're going to find that there's going to be a lot of turmoil, a lot of people trying to understand. And now is the chance to understand. Now is the chance to find out who you are, what you really truly stand for. Are you going to take the side of those who are fighting for, immortality, who are fighting for universal principles, to treat other people with true humanity? Or are you just going to become an opportunist, a collaborator, a quisling Vichy government? There have been types all the way through history. They're not looked at very, very highly, to say the least. People that abandon and work against the rights of their very own people just for their own advancement and profit. And that's who you are if you're not looking into this and not truly understanding what's going on the other side, on the side of the people I'm trying to listen to, and I must say have some answers I've been looking for. So please look at the focus on Fauci. I'll post a link, and thank you for listening today. Have a good day.